One of the things I thought about when Senator Lucio was speaking and Senator Van Pute was speaking was a comment I made, I think it was 2 sessions ago, about Hispanic Texans and the one place that they were not underrepresented in this state was in our military cemeteries. Not a more patriotic group of citizens in the whole country than Hispanic Texans. I know that. So I'd never want to be for a bill that basically impugned their patriotism. My own daughter-in-law, who's Cuban American, will not drive through Arizona. My grandchildren are light-skinned. She is darker complexioned. And she says when she goes to Arizona, the police hassle her because they think she's a nanny. And so she won't even drive through the state. So I have some personal experience with the fears and the outrage that many of the speakers addressed today. But there still is a problem, and that is that most of the criticism of this bill doesn't make sense to me. This bill doesn't do what its opponents accuses it of doing. All it says is that you cannot prevent law enforcement officers from asking a question when they have lawfully detained a citizen or non-citizen. You cannot prevent them from asking a question. That's all it says. It also says is that if you've been booked in the local jail, they have to check immigration status before they let you out. And it also says that our driver's licenses need to be reliable forms of identification. That's all this bill says. It doesn't say to racially profile. It doesn't say to the Laredo Police Department or the McAllen Police Department or the Brownsville Police Department, go out there and start hassling all the citizens. Turn yourself into a Gestapo force. Start making everybody's life miserable. It doesn't say that, and it's not going to happen. Most of the, at least in my ears, members, most of the complaints about this bill sound preposterous to me. This is not going to happen. The examples that people have used in opposition to this bill have occurred before this legislation even passed. I think about something else, and that is what happened on 9/11, 2001, and how almost 4,000 Americans have lost their lives because of that act. And what happened? There were 21 people involved, foreign nationals, most of whom were here illegally, that ran around this country for 2 or 3 years preparing to knock down the World Trade Center. And we act like improving our ability to identify people who are here illegally and are trying to do us harm is somehow bad public policy. It's not. The first obligation of government is to provide order and to protect the citizenry. This bill may not do a whole lot, but I think it could provide some additional protection for our citizenry against those people who are here to harm us. And nobody's talked about that. I don't like standing in the lines and the hassle of going to the airports. It's a necessary evil in this time. But here's the real reason why I think I have to vote for this bill. And this reason, I didn't ask to be here. I didn't ask to be in special session to consider this. But now that I'm here, you know, it's sort of like an umpire. You're going to have to make the call. All of us on this floor, Democrats and Republicans, Hispanic Texans and Anglo-Texans, took the same oath. It said, "We will, to the best of our ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States and of this state, so help me God." The laws of the United States and this state. It doesn't say except for the ones that we find inconvenient or the ones that we happen to disagree with. It says to the best of our ability to preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States and this state, so help me God. And I cannot reconcile this oath that I took with opposition to this bill, which is simply an effort to make sure that our law enforcement agencies and our driver's license issuing authorities do a better job of identifying who is an American citizen, and if they are committing a violation of our laws, to at least ask the question, are you here legally or not? And so, members, I will be voting in support of this bill, not because I particularly want to, but because the oath that I took compels me to do so.